Okay, so as you can see, we have a very small intake. Actually, it's an intake or release area, if you want to call it that, because something that we need to point out is that people are coming in, we're releasing people, and we're also trying to get everybody out for court through this same area. What we had to do in 2014 is, this used to be our print room, and where we took we took pictures, our mug shots, we did our fingerprints and stuff like that. But because of the lack of space, what we've had to do is do an open seating. So as you can see, we have to have inmates out rather than inside the holding cells during when we're overcrowded in this area. So you can see that this is our only male holding area. When arrestees are brought in, this is where we have to put them up, and it's very limited. In this particular cell, we're only allowed to have 7 people in that cell. So on a busy weekend, we can have up to 30 people in this area, and we're very limited. What we also have over here, again, we've had to turn what we used to call a DWI room. We've had to turn that into our magistration room, again, due to not having the proper facilities for the growing needs of the agency. And maybe it's been about 6-7 years, but we started doing video magistration rather than having the judge come in and see people personally. So in this particular room, what we do is when the judge calls and she's ready to see everyone, we'll line up everybody in here, and the judge will come out on the monitor, and she's able to read them their rights, and then she'll magistrate each one individually. So we try to do that for the judge's safety. Going to video magistration has just been a lot better for us. Because sometimes it's just too many people in this one area, and it's hard for us to keep the judge safe and continue with the normal running of this area, during magistration. So you know that this facility was built in the late 80s, and this, when it first opened, was our dispatch section right here. And of course now dispatch has been moved into the old jail that's a little further down. And they're currently we're now utilizing this area as our bonding release department. So we're trying to make use of every little part of this facility that we can. So if you notice again, you've seen these kind of around the booking area, which are these blue stadium chairs. This is something that we put in a couple of years ago because we just, again, don't have an adequate facilities to put people in. And this, we don't like the idea because it becomes challenging when you have males out and you have females out, and if they've been arrested together, they want to try to talk, and it makes it kind of difficult. Again, storage space, the lack of it. These are cleaning carts that we need to store properly. It's a hazard for our employees because these brooms and stuff is out, and it can be easily grabbed by any inmate walking by. So we try to do our best to keep them away from that, but it's just one of the realities of this facility and how limited we are with it. Over here to my right, let me get you to turn around. Over here to my right is the holding 3 area, and this area is where we keep the females, and we can only house 4 females in there at a time. Again, serves to be very challenging because there are some evenings where we can get 7 or 8 females in one night, and the supervisors in the evening time have to get creative. They have to move females to another area, maybe in holding 1, move the guys out, maybe split up the guys here, or split up some of the drunks over there, and it's very challenging for them at night, depending on what kind of individual you have. The stress of it all is a lot of times we get individuals that have serious crimes. They have no business out. We have to keep them secure. Again, in the evening time, they're intoxicated. A lot of people take drugs. They're coming down off of alcohol or drugs, and they're a threat to the staff, other inmates, and it just becomes very, it's a shuffling game. It's all we're doing, try to move people around, and we're doing it all night long, all day long. Okay, so what we have in here is our infirmary. It's our medical section. We only have four cells in here. As you can see, that it's a very small area that our nurses and doctors have to work out of, and it's just not enough space for the amount of inmates that we currently have. We've turned closets into offices, and over here to our left we have our nurse, our RN. Her office is in this closet that used to be storage, and then you can see we only have 2 exam rooms, and it's just not adequate for the amount of inmates that we have. So there's some times where we have the doctor here trying to visit, and then you have a situation that happens, let's just say a fight in the jail, and we just don't have the space for that. I'm taking you into our A-quad area. That is that is actually our smallest area for inmate housing. So we'll have 6 inmates on each side. So you can see that it's the old style bars type cell area. So in order to try to stay compliant with the PREA standards as much as possible, we currently use this area for our youthful offenders, our 17-year-olds. We try to keep them separate from the other inmates. So we've had to utilize try to get creative on the areas that we do have. So of course females can't be in here. This is a male area. Those have to be housed with the female inmates. So.